In this presentation, we're going to be discussing U.S. mortality rates, trends, as well as implications for policymakers. Our key takeaways first are that death rates have fallen quite a bit in the last 35 years, and this is primarily due to cardiovascular-related disease death rates falling over 40%. However, there's plenty of other diseases that have actually stayed about the same in terms of death rates or have actually gotten worse. Overall, our findings suggest that policymakers should consider county-level data and county-level information when making health policy. Our data comes from the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, and we look at 21 different diseases and medical conditions. We study mortality rates every 5 years from 1980 to 2014 and look at a per 100,000 people mortality rate. Our first key finding is that death rates have fallen quite a bit, and as we mentioned, this is due to cardiovascular deaths falling almost 40%. While this is a great success story, when we look further into cardiovascular deaths, what we find is that it affects states and the country very differently. There's regions within the country, particularly in the Southeast, where cardiovascular deaths are still quite high, and there's regions where it's much lower. When we zoom in at the county level, we find that even within these states, there's a lot of variation at the county level.
We found out that in 2014, the top 3 states with highest mortality for cardiovascular-related deaths were in Mississippi, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. So we decided to see whether these 3 states were performing well or worse in terms of other 21 diseases, and we found out that there was a sharp increase in mental health and substance abuse related deaths from 1980 to 2014 in all the 3 states, as you can see here. So we decided to take a closer look whether this was a trend in other US states as well. So we created this time lapse of US map. So as you can see, in 1980, the diseases like mental health and substance abuse had less impact, whereas by 2014 the map gets darker. And as you can see, all the states have performed bad over the years, but primarily New Mexico and Alaska and even West Virginia have performed really bad. So we decided to take a closer look at the county level, whether this trend was consistent across all the counties. And we found out that in New Mexico, there was this one particular county named Rio Arriba County, which had actually performed significantly worse as compared to the other counties around it. And when we found online, we realized that this was primarily because of poverty and high opioid crisis in Rio Arriba County, and also there was a high crime rate. It was a similar trend in West Virginia and Alaska as well.
Overall, our findings suggest that diseases impact states very differently at the county level, so policy should be able to be flexible to county level variation as well. With that in mind, federal related policies as well as these county level policies should be able to tackle the issues.